Hey everyone, how's it going? This is the ball nerd coming at you with week um kind of Roman numeral 14 of my excellent coronavirus unemployment story, saga, whatever you want to call this thing that I'm doing. So, we're going to start off with the procedurals this week because we love procedurals and there's not a lot to talk about this week. Um, I'm going to start off with some truly shocking news that you guys probably won't believe. Um, I didn't hear from unemployment explaining the discrepancies that I talked about from last week. I know, I'm just as shocked as you are. I'll probably reach out to them again next week just because I'm a bit of a, masochist and I enjoy inflicting pain on myself, I guess. I really don't expect I'll get an answer, but doesn't hurt to call once a week to talk to my friends at the Ohio Bureau of Unemployment Compensation or whatever they call themselves. Anyway, so there's that. The other procedural thing I want to talk about is July 1st came and went this week, so I gave my mortgage company a call because they were officially able to speak to me. My forbearance has been extended another 3 months. Apparently, you can extend it for a maximum of up to a year. I hope. I sure as hell hope I'm not out of work for a year. I don't think I will be, but I guess one never knows. So there's that. Let's see what's next. I guess that's it for procedural. So I guess I'll talk about um, job hunting, and I will start off with the job that I've been talking about for weeks and weeks and weeks at this point, and that is the job with the bank. And something a little bit troubling happened with it this week. And what that was is they reposted the job. I noticed it Wednesday evening that they had, reposted it. So I was like, well, that's not good. Um, so I sent a message over to the person who I've been speaking with, the recruiter person, and I sent her a message. I don't know, around 6 o'clock at night. Around 10 something Thursday morning, she sends me an email. Now, I had planned on reaching out on Thursday anyway, regardless, because I was hoping to get some sort of an answer this week. And essentially, the answer that I got from this woman was, they're still in the interviewing process. You know, they hope to make a decision in the coming days. Thanks for being patient during this process. So essentially, I got more or less a non-answer. It's definitely better than a straight up no. But obviously, it's not as good as a yes, or they're going to make a decision by this date. It was very ambiguous because clearly they don't know exactly what's going on. Now, I did Google this, and there are a number of reasons that a job can be reposted. The most innocuous one being sometimes HR systems are just set up to repost jobs every so often if the job hasn't been reported as filled yet. So it doesn't necessarily reflect on my status or whatever. Plus, I did hear tons of positivity during the interview, so I'm hopeful that it can work out. But of course, I have no idea if it's going to or not. But I'm not going to really obsess over it at this point. I'm certainly not going to keep bugging them, uh, you know, to give me an answer. The only way I'm really going to press kind of hard on them is if I get another job offer, then I probably would, press a bit more to try to see if we could, speed this thing along. So there's that. Now I'm going to talk about an interview I had on, I believe it was Monday, that kind of amused me a little bit. Um, and the reason it was kind of funny to me is because I really was not qualified for the job. The only reason the interview even happened was because my wife works in retail and she made semi friends with this woman who comes into her store a lot, and interacts with her. Told her about my situation, so she took my resume to the company she works for, I guess. And the job I was interviewed for was VoIP, or Voice over IP Help Desk. And I don't think the interview even lasted 20 minutes. I am by no means an expert on VoIP and phone systems. Now, it's something I always have to deal with as an IT person. I'm always, you know, doing things like adding phones or removing phones or changing people's names or changing their pins or whatever. That stuff isn't difficult typically in a phone system once you learn how to do it, but I'm not remotely an expert. Um, I think the funniest question they asked me is, what do I want to do over the next 12 months for a job? And just thinking, and I answered, I said, well, it kind of just depends on where I end up, And then they asked me what I was wanting to do over the next 5 years. I just said something about wanting to doing IT project management for a company or whatever, which is actually realistically what I would like to do, which is what the bank job is. Yeah. But anyway, I digress. I don't. I'd be really surprised if they were really interested in me. I'm sure I'll be getting a "we're going with another candidate" email at some point, which is totally expected and fine. And I just honestly found the process a little bit bizarre because I've never interviewed for a job that was that much of a mismatch between my skills and what the job is. So that was just kind of weird. Um, I applied to, several jobs this week. One thing I found funny is I got a communication from some random, I don't know, software company uh, that is not close, but it's in the Cincinnati area, but it's a bit of a drive for sure. Just like the VoIP thing that I interviewed for, that's further away than I'd like to drive. That's for damn sure. Um, so I thought it was basically I got a communication on Career Builder. Blah blah is interested in you. So I was like, fuck it, I'll apply. I applied. Of course, I've heard nothing. I had some random recruiter from Amazon reach out to me about an IT support position for them. I was like, fuck it, I'll apply and try to work at Jeff Bezos' evil empire, I guess. I applied there, haven't heard back at all. It's kind of funny, like when you're approached, they ask you to apply, you do it, and then nothing happens. Again, I'm not really that worried about it. But one of the jobs I applied for over the last week was another just random, like, local job. And it was all right. I guess the job, it's a standard IT support role. They sent me a little questionnaire asking me after I applied, asking me some questions. Apparently, I answered the questions well enough to be selected for an interview. So I got an interview scheduled for next Monday. Whoop-de-doo. Um, so we'll see how that goes. I think my favorite question in it was, why are you currently looking for a new opportunity? I wanted to respond with, why the hell do you think? But of course, I wasn't sarcastic. I just responded with, I was laid off due to, COVID-19, due to lack of work at my former organization. It's whatever. But I mean, sometimes you really do get asked some stupid questions, but whatever. That's just part of this wonderful process. The job itself is like I said, it's just a bog standard IT support role that I could probably do in my sleep at this point, because I've been doing this exact same kind of shit for 15 years. And it is what it is. I'm definitely willing to do it, obviously. But we'll see how that goes. I don't know. So there's that. That's basically it for job hunting. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about personal things that are going on this week. It's kind of a big one for personal stuff. My older daughter is going to be 18 very soon. In less than 2 weeks, my oldest is going to be 18. So, um, my oldest normally is at Job Corps, and what Job Corps is here in the U.S., it is a basically it's a program for teenagers to young adults where basically it's a trade school they live at. So it's more like college than traditional high school. She is finishing high school through this program, and she's doing a trade as well. So hopefully multiple trades. I've tried to encourage her to do basically do as much as she can. That way she gets a really good feel for what she wants to do, and can set out in life on the right path, or as good a path as she can, right? But since she's going to be here, I figured, at least for the time being, I figured it might be smart to have her do some adult things, because I actually had her reach out to basically the center director, which is the person in charge of where she is, saying, "Hey, any idea when we're coming back? Because my parents are thinking about me getting a job and maybe getting my driver's license and all that." And the center director responded with, "Don't have a date yet. Sorry." That was really fucking useful. So I had her respond with, "Okay, do we know, is it going to be a month? Is it going to be 2 months? Is it going to be 3 months? What are we looking at here?" And then the center director responds with, "Well, I hope it's August, but I don't know." Fucking fabulous. So, I think what we're gonna decide, or what we've decided to do, is if we don't have an update by the time she's 18 of the exact date she's going back, we're gonna have her get a job here at a McDonald's that's fairly nearby that she could walk to or ride a bike or whatever. So she'll get a job there. At least that's the plan. Get a job, or not? Sorry, said get a job. Get her own bank account. Because the fact that she'll be 18, she'll be able to have a bank account all on her own without parental involvement, which is fabulous. That's kind of what we're wanting. We're trying to help her become independent, right? And if she's here longer term, like more than 2 months or whatever, we'll probably start on the process of getting her driver's license. And of course, that starts with a temp test after reading, the motor vehicle laws. The only issue with that is the fact that we're here in Indiana, and the Job Corps Center she, just normally at is in Ohio. So you know how that is, different states. If she gets an Indiana temp license, that would be useless in Ohio, right? So essentially, she would have to get a full driver's license that doesn't expire for, like, I think Indiana driver's licenses are good for like 7 years at a time, or it's a fairly long time. So she would have to get like her full driver's license for it to really be particularly useful. And I don't know how quickly I can teach that kid how to drive, so that's gonna definitely be a challenge, and we'll see. But it's something. It's a plan. We're gonna try to make some things happen. Um, Thankfully, things are better this time with the older one than they've been in the past. I know I haven't talked extensively about my older daughter, but my kids are adopted, and with the older one, we've had a lot of problems out of her. Many, many behavioral problems over the years. One of the most egregious things she did was just before she went to Job Corps. She actually said, "Well, I'm going to tell the school." Basically, she was going to make false accusations about me and my wife to the school to have DCS investigate us and try to get herself removed so she wouldn't have to go to Job Corps. Clearly, when we found this out, we kind of told the school about it, and talked to DCS and all that. So that put a little kibosh on our plans. So just to give you an idea of the sorts of problems we had out of her, that's just one. That's one problem of many we've had out of her. So it definitely put a lot of damage and strain on our relationship, to put it mildly. But things are improving. She's not been nearly as egregious this time. Her behavior's been mostly fine. We've had a few incidents since she's been here this time, but compared to that, they've been incredibly minor in scope. So that's basically it. That's what happened this week. I'm hoping next week to have an answer at least about the bank. I'm not going to obsess over it because clearly they're taking their time. It's still the job that I'm the most interested in because it is still the best job by far that I've ever really been considered for. In fact, I was talking to a buddy today, and he's like, "Well, don't feel bad. He's like, if it doesn't work out, a better job will probably come along." I know he was just doing his best to make me feel better, and I appreciate that. But I actually told him, I said, no, it actually won't. I said, I've been in IT for 15 years. I have, interviewed for somewhere between 1 to 200 jobs, probably. I don't know how many jobs I've interviewed for in the amount of time I've been doing this, but it's been a large number. And I've never interviewed for a job that's even as close to as good as this one. So, yeah, I might find a better job eventually, but it'll take me another 15 to 20 years before I do. So, if I don't get it, yeah, I'm definitely gonna be. There's gonna be some sour grapes there for sure. But who knows? Maybe I'll get an answer next week. Maybe it'll be a positive answer. Maybe I'll get nothing. Or maybe I'll get the dreaded "we went with another candidate." I don't know what's gonna happen. So that's basically it. I hope you guys liked this one. Um, you guys know what to do. My next one I think I'll upload will be a bit of a funny one because I actually had a lengthy talk with a scammer today, one of those electricity ones. So I'll upload a separate video of that, and I hope you guys enjoy that and get a little bit of laughter. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Live long and prosper. Keep on rocking.